with a little pre-thought, you too can make sourdough on the road. Here I want to put 131 grams of sourdough, 131 grams of water, and 131 grams of flour into my container. And it's a 1:1:1 ratio on 129.26. And tomorrow we will do our bulk ferment along with our stretch and folds and adding the rest of the ingredients. Yes, you can bake sourdough on the road. Hi, today I am going to try out a new recipe for my sourdough bread. Instead of using water, we are going to use a beer. And we're just going to see how that makes the flavor taste. I also am going to be doing something entirely new, and that is I'm going to use an onion. I'll show you about what size. About yay big. So you can use 1 to 2 large onions, and you want to caramelize this. So while my flour is doing its autolyze, which means the water and the flour are combining before I add the sourdough starter and the salt, we're going to get this sauteed up, and then we're going to let it cool because we want this caramelized. It adds a nice sweetness to the bread, apparently, but we will see. Let's get started with the recipe. So for starters, we have 500 grams, and you're supposed to use bread flour. I don't have bread flour, so I'm just using all-purpose flour. And I've got 350 grams of a beer. Whatever beer you want to use. A lot of people use Guinness beer. I'm just going to use this beer I have here. So I'm just going to pour this in, and I'm just going to let this mix together. I'll stir it up. And after 45 minutes, we'll continue with the other ingredients. But I'm just going to get this all mixed in together so that all the flour is incorporated. And then we'll come back for the other parts. And I only added about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil for the sauteing of the onions. So you are going to add a little bit of oil in your sourdough bread, but that's not a problem. I went ahead and cut up 1 large jalapeno because that's what I like. I got a couple pinches of fresh rosemary. You can use dried or whatever you have. A pinch, 2, 3, whatever you want. My carameled onions, I am going to take them off the stove. I'm going to put these on a paper towel to let some of this grease drain off, and we're just going to let that cool. And just to keep you up on the process, the jalapenos, peppers that I showed you, the caramelized onion and the rosemary, those are just sitting aside because we won't be adding them until after we do some stretch and folds. So we're still in the process of letting our bread and beer mix together. So I still got about a half hour before this is finished and before we add this salt and the sourdough starter. So just so you know that. I'm just preparing ahead of time. Right now I'm going to get some sun-dried tomatoes ready, and I'm going to shred my cheese that I'm going to use in my bread. I cubed up some Parmesan cheese. That's about 108 grams, whatever, give or take. And I've got some garlic here, fresh garlic clove that I am cutting up. It was a small one. It only had 3 cloves to it, so I'm just cutting this up, and however you want to do yours, if you want to add any fresh garlic to yours. Okay, we can start to add in our sourdough. Now I've got 100 grams of active sourdough starter, and 12 grams of salt. You want to use a good salt. You don't want to use a high processed salt. All right, we got that mixed in, and then we need 12 grams of salt. Okay, we're going to get this all mixed up, and you can use your hands to mix this up. I would recommend that you get your hands wet first so that it doesn't stick so bad. We just want to mix in all that salt and that sourdough, and once we do that, we're going to put a cover on it, put it in a fairly warm spot. You don't want direct heat on it. And we're just going to let this sit for 30 minutes. But you do want to get in that sourdough and that salt. We're just going to get this all mixed up, something like that. And then we'll cover it and set it aside before we do our first stretch and fold. And I will say, I can tell that from the addition of the beer that I added, because it was a dark lager beer, it actually made the dough a little bit darker in color. So that's just something to note. All right, our sourdough has gone for the sourdough bread dough has gone for the 30 minutes. Let's do our first stretch and fold. And this is the, I'm only saying this for my own self. This is the one that we're going to make with the inclusions of tomato, jalapeno, and the beer that we put in. So all we're doing is we're just lifting it and stretching it. And it's rather cool in this environment. It's only 64 degrees. So I am going to put this in a sunnier spot, somewhere where it can really get a good job done with a little bit more heat. So we really want this to work. I may have to do this a longer ferment, which is not a problem. So we're going to do that for 30 minutes. We're going to cover this and let it sit. And the next time we do a stretch and fold, we're going to add our other ingredients. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to use these spoons on here. So this means one stretch and fold. As I do the second one, I'll add this spoon over. So right now, one stretch and fold was done. This helps me keep track because this is another loaf of bread for a different video. Well, we are going to add our inclusions into our bread. And you can see it looks pretty darn good. So we've got our jalapeno and our garlic. Those are raw. Our Parmesan and sun-dried tomatoes, and the caramelized onion. It's kind of a big glob. We're just going to get that all mixed together. I'm just going to kind of break it up in my hand, and then I'm going to get my hands wet, and I'm just going to bring it together. And this is kind of cool in here. Like I said, we're going to have to get this warmed up inside here. So I did turn the heat on. I'm just going to push the ingredients, or the inclusions, into the bread. And just keep turning it, stretching it. And you don't have to worry about these inclusions. They will completely go in once everything is done, said and done with a stretch and fold. So I'm just going to do something like this. And one more stretch. And then we'll cover it up again for 30 seconds, or 30 minutes. All right. So we'll be back in 30, and I will turn my spoons so I know that that was my second stretch and fold. Welcome to stretch and fold number 3 for our beer and inclusion bread. So I think setting it towards a warmer area helps slightly. You don't want it to tear. You just want to get it to just a stretch. And then fold. This is going to be one tasty bread. And I can smell the onion and the rosemary. It smells fabulous. So, let's see if I can't get this stretched some more. That extra oil that we have in there from the onions is really going to add a little bit more, I think, softness to the bread. But we'll see. And that's about all we're going to do. I'm going to put my spoon, so we're on number 3. I'll tell you, adding the the inclusions at number 2 really helped me remember what I'm doing. All right, we'll set that aside for another 30 minutes. Well, it has been 30 minutes, and this is our 4th stretch and fold. So we're going to... We won't be needing the spoons anymore. Get our cover lifted off. And I'm going to do a stretch and fold real quick here. But then I'm going to take and measure out 40 grams of this dough and put it into this 2-ounce container. And this is going to help with our bulk ferment. It's going to tell us when our bread has done its complete bulk ferment. Hopefully it will. Because it's so cold in here, I don't really know how this will work out. It'll turn out fine, but it's just a difference in what I've done before. So you can see it's a little bit more stretchy. You want to do, 4 to 6 holes on the bread, and this does keep dropping quite a bit of inclusions, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, so now I'm going to measure out my 40 grams into this little measuring cup. And we're going to turn our scale on, make sure it's on grams, zero it out, and put in 40 grams. That is at 32. This is going to be some hearty bread. 38. I'm trying to get mostly dough. 39. And 40. All right, now we're going to cover this and we will let this sit for a great remainder of the day. So I'm pretty much done with this, although I am making another loaf for another video. I will come back when this reaches the very top and starts to bubble. I'll know that my bulk ferment is done, and we will cover this and keep it in a warmer environment, but not in direct heat. Well, the dough is done with its bulk ferment. Now this has been sitting out for 15 hours, and that's only because it is very cold in here. It's about 60 some degrees. So we're going to go with it, and we're just going to shape this, get it flat, and then we're going to, you can see there's some holes in there. We couldn't go with the jiggly top with a bunch of holes and bubbly on top because of the temperature. That was going to give us like a false read. So I'm just going to bring this up and over itself and kind of fold it together. It is wet, and that's a lot of that is from all of the product that is inside there. But this is going to come together really well. And then we're just going to put it inside of our kind of like a Banneton pan, but because I don't have any Bannetons, I'm just using a metal pan with a towel inside of there with some flour on top. And it's kind of hard to do this on this surface because I don't have a big surface, so that's why I'm using this. So we're just going to get this rolled up. I want to make it tight. I want the skin to be tight, so that's my idea here, is to just kind of bring it forward. Now this parchment isn't going to be a good thing, but we're going to keep doing it. I'm just trying to fold it over, trying to tighten the skin. And I can see bubbles coming up from inside, so that's good. We're creating that tension that we want to do. So I'm just going to keep doing that, and then I'm going to put it in my Banneton. Well, because I didn't have room in my refrigerator, I did store this in our vehicle over the morning hours for about 6, 7, 8 hours. So this is what the tomato, jalapeno, parmesan, caramelized onion, and garlic is looking like. So that'll be interesting. We're going to put it in my Easy Bake oven in the RV. I've got it up to 425. And I just started it, so we'll get those in. Wow. My RV oven worked wonderful. Can't wait to taste this lovely bread. And this is the bread, all finished. And you can see the cheese, the pepper, and garlic in there. And I'm going to have a taste here. If I can keep my finger out of the way over on the other side, we'll be good. All right, let's give it a try. I can taste the burnt, but I don't care. I'll scrape that off. Parmesan. I got a taste of that garlic. Very good. And the onion. That's the first time I used caramelized onion. Might have to do that again. So good. And I'm not worried about it sitting overnight because it's in ferment. It's not going to go bad. I mean, it could eventually, but darn, that's good. Got a little tomato on this side. Yum, yum, yum. I wish you could taste it.
Hey there,
this is going to taste so good, toasted. I can't wait to have this with some eggs. So yummy. I hope you try some garlic bread, garlic inclusion bread, and with beer. That's right. I forgot. I made this with beer. Really yummy. Hope you give it a try.